Okay, well, welcome back to Dominions 4, Thrones of Ascension with me, Pew Pew Choo Choo. So, like I said last time, we were currently advancing down the coast over here with our armies, and inside the back of our lines, we were taking a look at magical sites for preparation for the mid-game. And today we'll be learning a little bit more about the troops at our disposal. So, we'll take a look at our enemies' battle over here, and take a look at what they had. So because we had a scout inside this region, we were able to take a look at what the other factions are doing with their troops inside these AI battles, and it looks like they were actually mainly using these war elephants, like us, to effectively bulldoze enemy troops. So I kind of felt like this would be a good time to take a look at the stats of various units. So let's do that. Let's click on one of these troops, militia from the land of Valor tile, and let's take a look at what they have. So first and foremost, they have the basic stats up here, and then they have their weapon and armor stats down here. Effectively, how these calculate into the battle is that your hit points and your protection is and your magic resistance affects essentially how much damage you take and how much damage you can take. These militiamen, they have rather poor protection in that if it was one militiaman versus another one, each militiaman will be doing 13 damage with their spears. If they hit the other militiamen, they will be effectively doing 8 damage because with 5 protection, these guys will protecting effectively reduces the amount of damage that you take, while this defensive skill reduces the chance that you will be hit. How damage is calculated is a mixture of strength, attack skill, and precision if you use ranged units. So what essentially happens is that your strength is essentially added on to your weapon damage to effectively make your weapon a potent tool. So for example, the spear does 3 damage by default. Because this guy has a strength of 10, he'll do 13 damage, just simple addition really. Attack skill is the chance of hitting the opponent. So if you have a high attack skill, there's more of a chance that you hit. Likewise, if you use like a bow or something, you'll use your precision skill instead of the attack skill. Some of the other things that we had to note here is the morale, the encumbrance, the fatigue, and the move. Encumbrance is a measure of how much armor your guys wear, or rather how fatigued your unit will get. If fatigue is obviously fatigue, it's how tired your units are. If this value goes above 100, your unit will essentially fall unconscious, making him very, very easy to attack. The higher your encumbrance, the higher your fatigue will essentially automatically gain throughout the battle, whether be it casting spells or attacking with, say, a spear. Your morale is just simply the likeliness that your units will break in battle. So taking a look at these troops, the militiamen, they're fairly weak inside pretty much every single category. They're average in everything except for protection, which they're fairly low. Heavy infantry are decent in protection, but they have otherwise average stats. Their bowmen over here, again, average stats, low protection, but then again, they are a bow unit. And that's pretty much all they have over here. Oh wait, no, they have a commander unit, which is average in the sense that they can do everything normal infantry can do. But they do have a command bonus, so they can command up to 40 units, which is rather helpful. These war elephants, they have high HP, decent protection, decent skills in general, but the one thing that they have fairly low in for their size is their morale. It's only at 10, which isn't particularly good, right? And well, like I've said, they already have trample, so they are able to really, really devastate. Oh god, that was really loud. But anyways, they are really able to devastate enemy units just like that, because of their stats, right? So that's kind of how they are. That's kind of how those stats play into effect with each other. Right now, we really, really need to get some more money, so we will. Actually, I think I'll get our forces to roll up through here and take on their war elephants with our war elephants and hopefully stomp them out. So let's go with that and let's see what has happened. So yeah, we're going to be fighting a battle with them. Yeah, they're going to lose all of their war elephants and we have lost about 3 infantrymen. It looks like some other people are naming commanders as well, and it looks like we found a magic site, which is good. And an event, and another event happened, because we picked a because we picked a misfortune as a trait for our faction, sometimes we do get more than the usual amount of unlucky events, and it looks like somewhere our Dominion strength was lowered, unfortunately. I'm going to get Argias over here to continue searching for magic sites, and it looks like he found a Mercury Pond which will generate water gems for us, which may be helpful in the future, but for now I don't have very many things for them. We can stop building we can stop building those sages for now, and I'm going to build another Stormcaller, followed by a few other things later on. Alright, so now that we've taken over the villages here, we can effectively generate some more income off of these provinces, which will hopefully go towards our armies. Because it looks like their home province here for this particular faction is fairly weak, we are actually going to drive our two troops, our two commanders with their war elephants, into this faction's capital and siege it. With that said, I really want to give them some troops right away, so what I think I will do is I will get our war elephants and whatnot. I'll get all of these troops back at our base, and I'm going to give them to our Phoenix, who is then going to lead these troops forward, bring them up to the front here, and we are hopefully going to rush this AI faction and eliminate them from the game, kind of right off in the get-go. Yeah, it's only the second year, so it's only been about 12 turns. Should be fairly early game right now, but if we win this battle, we have a good chance of effectively crushing these guys and getting rid of one of the 8 players inside the game. So let's view this battle. Their faction this time has a few priests, so they'll be casting blessings and whatnot, spells that'll give them effectively buffs. Had mouth surgery a couple of days ago, so I can't really talk very well right now. Let's see what type of infantry they're using. So they're using these bare-chested warriors. They have decent attack skills with their javelins and their broadswords and whatnot, but it looks like they have they actually have really low protection. So hopefully our guys will be able to clock them before they do a lot of damage. And because they're throwing all of these javelins at our elephants, they're not going to be able to do much damage. I'm gonna be quiet now because those war elephants are really, really loud. Okay, so that was that. Just absolute total havoc as our elephants just kind of smashed through everything. So we're going to be bringing some more troops for them to just kind of use, which is good. And yeah, for some reason the sound effects inside this game are really rather loud, but I'll change it next time. So hopefully it'll be a little bit less loud inside the next episode. And I guess we'll just continue the siege and continue building our fortress right here. So let's see what has happened, what is going to happen. So I found another magic site, good. Continued researching and evocation. Looks like we lost one province to the enemy, but that's fine. And this army should be able to come down over here now. We gained another commander, or another wizard, another Stormcaller. So he's going to be helping out doing some of this site searching. Another way that we can site search is that we can actually go into the as soon as I recruit a unit here, we can actually go into the Thaumaturgy School of Magic and get the elemental spells like Scrying Pool, I believe, or no, not Scrying Pool. There's one over here somewhere, I know for sure. There's the fire version of it anyways, or the earth version of it called Gnome Lore, which is essentially you use your earth gems to do this instantaneous type of magical site search, but it uses gems, it has a limited range, and it can only find magical sites of one particular element, so it's not as effective, but it definitely is less time consuming as more than our little move and search technique here. So that's definitely good. We're moving our troops around here. The Phoenix will get the troops over there as soon as possible. And I have recruited a priest over here. Priests are sacred units. They can spread our dominion around as well. But the main reason I've essentially gotten these guys is that we do need to build a temple somewhere in near the southern borders over here, preferably along with our fortress, simply because our dominion is rather weak there, and with a weak dominion we don't necessarily get the full-fledged bonuses that we get over here. So for example, at our capital, we definitely get our 3+ productivity and -1 misfortune, which is -2 due to a random event. But if we come over here to these tiles, I don't believe we get that as strong. So we come over here. Yeah, our Dominion strength is only 1, and we actually don't get any productivity over here. Oddly enough, inside this province, we actually do get our +3 productivity, place that we're building a fortress in, so that is rather good. But places like here, we don't even get our little benefit. Here we do. Do we get it up here? We get some of it up here. So yeah. This siege should happen for a little bit more time, so that's good. I'll get our scout to actually move to the enemy's fortress, and because he is our prophet, he'll spread our dominion essentially right up next to our enemy's doors, which is rather useful. And now that we have Tech 4 Evocation, I'm going to stop building Evocation. I'm going to switch that into Conjuration, which is the school of magic that allows us to summon things, more notably summoning elephants and doing one spell in particular that I really want, which is the Call of the Winds, which will give us a bunch of raiding units, and another one that's rather useful later on will be Windride and whatnot, things to move our armies. So that's kind of that, and that'll just kind of end this turn. So this will mainly be moving units. Looks like we didn't find any magical sites this turn. How are we doing on the siege front? Should be doing pretty well. I'm gonna get the rest of our troops there. Get our priest to hopefully move down one tile, get our magical searching people down, and it looks like I accidentally bought a few more priests than needed, so I think I'll switch our income back to buying elephants and troopers. 3 elephants, a lot more infantrymen is what we want. And likewise, now that we have a fortress here, we can also build units here now. Really rather useful. So down here, I have a feeling we're going to be using a lot of soldiers, so we're going to be building a lot of these guys. And that will essentially finish off this turn. And let's see what has happened. So research inside Conjuration Magic, and we still need a little more time to continue the siege, so we'll just kind of let that progress as it happens, right? And let's get our armies over here reinforced. So let's get let's get these armies. Let's get our troops distributed to the various different ranks, just like that. And yeah, that should be kind of that. Get our little Phoenix here to actually fly back to our own territory. How movement works is that movement is split up between movement on the campaign map and movement inside the battlefield. So we get 8 action points and 3 campaign map movement, so that's kind of what this little split here indicates. And because the Phoenix is a flying unit, it can move far distances, ignoring the fact that there's a swamp here and whatnot, so it has a rather high mobility, which is quite nice. And the guys over here will continue doing whatnot, doing their usual things. Have a priest here. Can our priest do some stuff for us? He can probably do some odd end stuff like... Ooh, he can actually produce blood sacrifices. I think I'll talk about those in a little bit. For now, let's just continue the siege really and see how that goes. Let's see. Ooh, we found 3 magical sites. That is good. And our siege is continuing, so that is absolutely wonderful. Let's see what we found here. So we found a boiling bog, which produces fire and water gems. We're going to use fire gems more than water gems. We found a painted cave, which will produce astral pearls. Those are always useful to have. And we found a Canyon of the Wild Winds, which will be able to generate air gems for us. So overall, pretty useful stuff. And we'll just ship our commanders back and forth, continue the siege, and next turn we will... Well, no, this turn we'll be building a temple and then a lab inside our newly constructed fortress. So let's just kind of speed things up there. Ooh, the gate has been breached, so that is good. And it looks like there was a battle there as well. Get our guys to search for magical sites once again. Get this guy to build a lab now. So we're starting to build a temple and a lab here inside the newly founded fortress. Back inside our capital, we automatically start with the fortification. We automatically start with the lab. And we automatically start with the temple. And essentially what the temple allows us to do is essentially it allows us to build sacred units here, and it allows us to build priests, which will allow us to spread our dominion. We're going to need a lab to be able to build the magical caster units, such as the priest and the sage over here. So we're going to get that started over there so we can use this fortress as a magical lab to research stuff and doing whatnot. Keep these guys on research. Our Phoenix can... Oh wow, we have a lot of units available now, so we're going to do another little shuttle run and bring a few more units to the front. I think I'll start expanding inside that direction, and we can hopefully witness the siege of this fortress now, which will be pretty cool. Can we actually see what's inside the fortress? No. Okay, well in that case, we will just kind of fast forward till we reach the fortress with all of these troops. So yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of site searching as we go along here. We have an army with Antiphilmos over here, who is going to come over there. This guy is going to build some other stuff here. We're going to be building some roads in a little bit inside our newly founded fortress. Roads increase the administrative value inside a province, and what that is essentially going to do is that it's going to give us more resources from the nearby lands, giving us more recruitability from the nearby settlements, which is rather helpful. And in the meantime, I'm just stockpiling up on these Stormcaller mages, simply because we can't really recruit them in a large amount of areas, and while they are pretty helpful, right? So yeah, that's kind of that. And in a few more turns here, oh, lots of random events happen. Found a lot of money, and a werewolf joined our cause, which is kind of cool. Where did he join our cause though? Let's see, read the message again. He joined in Storm Woods. Let's find where exactly is Storm Woods. Let's see, Storm Woods is over here. So he is a skin shifter. These guys are units normally possessed by a group of people called the Van Helm. These skin shifters, they effectively become werewolves after they get slain on the battlefield, and what essentially they can do is build fort construction, build roads. There we go. What they can do is that they can use their claws in battle after they've died, and werewolves, I believe, they move quite fast, so they can actually really pump out a lot of damage, which is cool. And one more turn, and then we hopefully will be able to really drive up the siege. Did we find any more magic sites? No, we didn't. Let's see what has happened. Looks like we were able to find. Yeah, we were able to take this tile, and it looks like we found another faction over here, which is good. I'll get that skin shifter to go back over there, and I'll get this mage to come to that province and do another search over there. And it looks like we have the majority of stuff set up now. And I don't really need to recruit a lot of units right now, so I think I'll cut back on unit recruitment. And later on we should be able to just win this siege and yeah, really smash it down. Found one site, killed a few more units, which is good, and it looks like we found another faction yet again over here, and it looks like they have some bull people from the looks of it. We found a magic site here called the Elusive Lights, which produces magic and fire gems, which is good. So now we are finally starting to build up a really large cast of magical items, and it looks like we've actually found 4 different magical sites here as well. The Dying Forest, Earth and Nature and Death Gems, another Boiling Bog, a Whispering Woods, and a delightful Forest of Delights. So this place is actually really good. The siege here, let's see what we have. Yeah, we already have a lot of troops here. You know what? I'm going to get the Phoenix to get his troops, and I'm going to bring them down to meet with the other factions down here because they look pretty tough. And I think I'll get these units to begin the siege. So they're going to storm the castle and hopefully rip up this faction over here. So, end the turn. That should start the battle, and things should happen. Let's see. We found some magical items. We found an enchanted pike and an enchanted or a skull mentor. And it looks like one of our faction. Yeah, we killed the enemy factions' god, although we weren't able to eliminate their faction from the game from the looks of it. Let's see what has happened during the battlefield here. So yeah, there's our force. The enemy has a fortress here which will gradually do some damage, but everything should be fine. And this is their little force here. So they have a lot of mages over here, some stargazers. These appear to be more or less research units. They only have level 1 astral magic. Their god might be troublesome. Holy crap, yeah, their god is super powerful with level 9 air magic, level 7 earth magic, and holy crap, that's a lot of research ability. But the bad thing is that they don't have a lot of troops, making it hopefully fairly easy for our troops to smash in here. And because the war elephants are getting pretty close to the battlefield, I'm gonna be quiet now. Yeah, that god is pretty tough in that it has a lot of HP and it has a fairly high defense skill. So, and he also has this enchanted pike, so he will be able to weather a lot of these attacks. You may have noticed that our units are missing a lot, and this is because of how defense works inside this game. First and foremost, he has a lot of this defense skill, so a lot of our weapons will essentially be parried. With this enchanted pike, one of the things that you had to note with these weapons, and the reason why I buy so many spearmen, is that the length of your weapon actually matters a lot when calculating the attack and defense values. If you have a longer weapon inside the game, you have the chance of parrying an enemy's attack, essentially rendering his attack useless. And because he has that enchanted pike, and because our units, his spears are only length in 4, he has the chance to essentially block their attacks, making this pretty much a very long fight. But as you can see here, I mean, we are wearing him down gradually. And that essentially takes them off of the field, which is rather nice. So now they are gone, and we have effectively conquered their little factory here, or their little starting position here, and we've actually nabbed their little capital, which in turn produces us quite a lot of good stuff. They have a capital-only magic site, which is this, which will produce us a lot of earth gems, magic gems, astral pearls, and allows us to recruit a few unique units, so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to call it a part this time, and we will be back in a little bit, in which we take a look at a little bit more of the game and hopefully work on those victory conditions. So I'll see you guys then. Till then, bye-bye. Be sure to like and subscribe for more.